they came because Sabetha wouldn't come. It was only about a mile and a half from Sabetha,
Uh-huh.
but they was out of the district. They wouldn't go out in
Wow.
the rural areas then. But generally, when a house got on fire, then it burnt down.
So how much younger than you is Dwayne?
Dwayne, Dwayne was 8 years younger than me.
Oh, okay.
Uh, well, actually, 7.5 or something. My
Yeah.
birthday was May, and I can't remember when his was. I think it was October. But, no, it wouldn't have been because he was 16 days old. January the 4th was his birthday. And the fire was on the 20th.
Hmm.
And he was 16. Of course, the neighbors come and got him and my mother, and took him up to his house during the whole thing. And me, they was trying to find me. I was running around the house, and they're trying to find my basketball, they said.
Oh.
It scared everybody to death. They couldn't find me. They said, Uncle Harold said he looked up and he saw me running out of the smoke, and there was a basketball under my arm. That's when they brought the boxcar in, fixed it up. We lived the summer and it was always hot.
Mm.
They put a door in it, and it was right down the creek. And, we took a bath in the creek, my dad and I. But winter came, we like to froze in it, so we moved to another house we rented. We still farmed that, Dad did. And then we found down south, Granddad bought the farm down there. And my dad bought it, Granddad co-signed it. In other words, Granddad ended up because we have, one year we'd have a drought. The next year we'd have the grasshoppers come in. When they come in, we had a cornfield, our house in the middle of a cornfield. The grasshoppers would come in, all there would be stalks sticking out of the ground when morning came.
Yeah.
And the next year we'd have a good crop, and everybody else did too, and the price was down. So it was a no-win situation trying to farm back in those days.
Right.
We farmed with horses. My granddad Schmidt had a tractor. I used to go and work all day and drive just to run that tractor. And my granddad Deaver had several tractors. Of course, he was a much bigger farmer than the rest of them. He and 3 other farmers over in the bank in Sabetha because they were board of directors. Back then days, they didn't have insurance, government. And so when the bank goes up, the stockholders and the board of directors had to dig up the money. And he was the only one out of the 3 big farmers that survived. It broke the rest of them.
Hmm.
Just about broke him. He moved to town, lived in a nice house, and farmed. He had to move back to the farm. But it was hard times. We were very poor, but we didn't know it really because everybody around us was poor.
Mm. Everybody was.
I went to school. I rode horse to school. And I had 2.5 miles, 2 miles of it straight north into the wind. I don't appreciate all this warm clothing that you see, these ski suits, these face masks, what I could have done with it.
Oh, yeah.
I had a long run where my pant leg could pull up to my knees right sitting in that saddle. It was a hard time. I can't think of the years. Maybe it was 37. Yeah, Uncle Russell bought a new car, and it was a 36 Ford. Granddad got it then and drove it. And it was about 36, I think. 37, he died. But that was real hard on my grandmother. She was never the same after that. And your mother, she went to Topeka, went to business school. I think it was at Kansas City one. Mm. She worked in Topeka for a long time. She worked at the airport.
Oh.
Secretary to the manager of Westheimer Airport. I don't know how I remember that. And we'd go down to visit her, drive down, we'd spend the night. My Aunt Alice and I, sometimes Granddad would go one time, take me in. I was the oldest of the grandchildren, the only one for a while, so I got really. My Uncle Harold used to he hauled cattle to St. Joe, Missouri, and Kansas City, and he used to pick me up and take me to St. Joe with him. He wanted somebody to accompany him. Of course, he'd always stop and buy me a hamburger, and that was made the whole trip worthwhile.
Oh yeah.
But he had to run a produce house there, and they all had, I guess, one stock truck. They hauled cattle. They also bought eggs, chickens, and sold some grain. I can remember this real well. This field, what the poultry house. I don't know if you know where it was. Fairview then. It was right across the street from the Fairview Enterprise office, I think, directly across the street. But they had this. There's a hole in the wall. And everybody would come by and say, "Now, don't stick your hand in that hole." They'd come by and they'd say, everybody says, "Now, Dale, don't stick your hand in that hole." And they did that for a couple of years. Nobody ever told me why not to stick my hand in that hole. One time I was never known, and I had to stick my hand in that hole. There's no way about it. I had to know what it meant. And of course, I got a real shock when I did. That was my first experience with electricity. That wiring code wasn't very strict those days. They even used bare wires.
Wow.
To wire.
Whoa.
110. That's what they done there. They run a wire and had insulators on the tube force and drill holes and run the wire through there. And I reached over and grabbed one of them wires. I was about 10, I guess, 9 or 10. I learned when they told me not to do something again, not to do it. But I never told anybody. In my Sunday school class here a couple of weeks ago, they come up with something in the lesson. When you're told not to do something, you do it anyway. And they asked if anybody had an experience. I said, "Yeah, I've got an experience, and I've never told anybody before." And I told them the story. Here's the second one over here, because I was ashamed, and he would think I was stupid enough to stick my hand.
After you're told not to.
Now they'd explain why I wasn't supposed to stick my hand in there. I might not have done it, but that. One thing I read in the stories in the Enterprise about experience at Fairview. One I always remember, there was a black man. His name was Nate Harold. I don't know something. He was disabled. He couldn't work, but he always sat on the street. When I went to town, he was the first guy I looked for. And every country kid come to town, and always looking for Nate, because he sat on the benches and whittled and talked. I don't know why we liked him so well, but he lived with his brother, Judy Harold. But I don't know why anybody in Fairview didn't ever write about Nate.
Yeah.
But he used to spend about the time in the wintertime over in Uncle Harold's office they had there. And, of course, I used to like to play. They had an adding machine, one that you pulled a lever adding machine. And I used to love to sit there and pull that thing when I went down. That was a big deal because I'd never seen one of them before. But of course, the Uncle Harold was kind of the strength of Fairview.
Was he?
He promoted. He got he was on the 36 highway, something, whatever it was. And he had something to do with the routing of 36. Coach Ferry, I don't remember what, but they always give him credit for it in a way. You know, 36 and 75 intersect there at Fairview.
Yeah.
But, he was a cattle trader. Back in the Depression, people would want money and they'd have a cow out there, and they only wanted to sell enough to get some cash. He'd go out and buy it. Then he'd take it to the auction in Hiawatha, or he had a truck going to stockyards in Kansas City, packing plants in Kansas City and St. Joe, Missouri. He'd take it there and sell it. But people began to get jealous of him because he was making all that money. He was buying that stuff. Well, he was buying as cheap as he could buy.